Yo guys, what's up, welcome to another tutorial. Today I'm going to show you how Cubeatz makes crazy samples in the style of Lil Durk and Lil Baby. To be honest, I'm going to be breaking down my favorite sample that I've ever made, and I know I say that a lot, but this time it's actually hard to top, and it has even two parts. I recorded my own voice and my own guitar, and I'm going to show you how to use your own vocals to make your own vocal phrases and how to mix it. So please make sure to stay till the end, make sure to leave a like and to subscribe to my channel, and make sure to activate the bell because I'm live streaming a lot and I will be reacting to music in these live streams and show you how to make beats. And please make sure to leave a cool comment. I will be giving away a bunch of samples to some of y'all commenters, and thank y'all for 2,000 subscribers. Y'all been going crazy. I will drop the kit, I promise, pretty soon, so y'all make sure to stay tuned for that. And yeah guys, let's go. So for the first thing, I used this kit from the 44th floor, and I used this 44 piano knowing. I just left it how it was. I just turned the envelope how you have to do it on one shots, and then I just laid down this pretty simple pattern. I didn't even randomize the velocities. It's a pretty, I would say, creepy sounding pattern, and the piano was perfect for that, and it sounds like this. And for the effects on this piano, I had this fully parametric EQ with these settings. Then I had this RC20 for the noise, the wobble, and that's basically it. I just detuned it heavy. Then I had this Apex Vintage Exciter from Waves just to make it sound more vintage, obviously. Then this Valhalla Vintage Rub for the mix, the decay, the pre-delay, and the low cut. Then I had this EQ just to make it sound even more vintage. I just stuck some of the highs and removed some of the lows. Then I had this Sooth with the default settings. And I had this EQ just to cut out some of the lows just that they don't clash with the bass. Then for the next thing, I used this Kill September Mercury 3 one-shot kit, and I just chose those 4 string phrases, I would say, and I just brought them into key, obviously, and I didn't really do anything else to them, and they sound like this. And for the effects on these string phrases, I had this simple EQ just to cut out a lot of the frequencies that I didn't like. Then I had this simple RC20 with the producer grind color dark mono preset. I think I tweaked it a bit, but I'm not very sure. Then I had this Valhalla Vintage Rub where I tweaked the mix, the pre-delay, and the decay. And I had this EQ just to cut out some of the lows and some of the highs just to make it sound more vintage. And I padded 90% to the right. Then for the next thing, I had this perc loop from the Haze Soundwaves one-shot kit. And I just brought it into time, pitch it down by 4, load the volume, and now it sounds like this. And for the effects on this perc loop, I just had this simple EQ just to cut out some of the lows and some of the highs, just to duck it more into the background because it's obviously just there to give the whole sample more texture. Then for the next thing, I had my own vocals, which you can see right here, and I will just show you how I mixed it and how I processed it. And first things first, the vocals are sounding like this. And then for the effects, I used this little auto boy on the raw vocals where I pitch it down by -5 on the formant. Then this Valhalla Vintage Rub for the mix and the decay. Then this Autotune Pro where I put the key on and the scale. And then just had the retune speed on 20, the flex tune on 40, and the humanize on 100. Then this Fruity Flanger on its default settings, I think. This Fruity Delay with these settings. Then this EQ just to cut out some of the frequencies that were not necessary for the sample. Then this Sooth on the hard setting. And then this simple EQ just to duck them almost fully into the background, but you can hear them pretty well in the sample. And I panned it 90% to the left. Then for the second part, I had this Nami electric guitar tremolo, and I put them out on stretch so it sounds the same every time but just in different pitches, and the pattern sounds like this. And for the effects on this electric guitar tremolo, I had this Portal with the Hypnotize bank from @LoneGod on Instagram. Y'all make sure to check that out. This bank is crazy for almost everything, as you can see. And I used the Demons Outside preset, and it fitted pretty well. And then I used this simple EQ just to cut out some of the lows and some of the highs just to duck it more into the background again. And that's basically it for the effects on this electric guitar. And for the next thing, I used this keys preset from the Cactus one-shot kit. And I just laid down this pretty simple pattern. It's a similar chord progression that I had on the piano. I just changed it up a bit at the end, and it sounds like this. Then for the effects on this organ, I had this simple EQ just to cut out some of the frequencies that I didn't like. Then I had this EQ just to cut out some of the lows and some of the highs again, and I panned it 12% to the left. Then for the next thing, I used the Hey Soundwaves kit again, and I just had this simple accent, and I just had this accent which was tuned to E minor, and it sounds like this. And for the effects on this accent, I had this portal with the halftime but cooler preset out of the hypnotized bank again. Then I had this loop on the hard setting and I turned this knob to 7.2, and I had this EQ just to cut out some of the lows. And for the next thing, I played my real guitar, and the audio clip is looking like this, and it just had some heavy effects on it, and with the vocals together the guitar sounds like this. And for the effects on this guitar, I had this guitar rig with these settings. I made this preset on my own, and I think it sounds pretty fire on almost every guitar. Then I had this EQ where I took a lot of the frequencies that I didn't like. Then I had this SOOF on its default settings, and I had this EQ just to cut out some of the lows and to duck some of the highs. And by the way, without the effects, the guitar would have sounded like this. Then for the next thing, I had this organ, and I just rendered it out and reversed it, then just chopped it up together, pitched it up by 12, put the mode on stretch, and this is how it sounds like. And for the effects, I just had this simple EQ where I took out some of the frequencies that I didn't like, and this EQ just to cut out some of the lows and ducked some of the highs, and I panned it 12% to the right. Then for the next thing, I had this bass which is called Dirt Move, and I just laid down this pretty simple pattern. I had some slides at the end just to give the whole bass line more variation, and it sounds like this. And for the effects on this bass, I had this effect rack with the 70s amp bass preset, then this 3D parametric EQ where I took out some of the frequencies that I didn't like, then this simple EQ just to cut out some of the muddy lows and to duck some of the highs, and I put it 100% in mono. Then after that, I just put my simple mastering chain on it, which I have a special video on. You can check that out after watching this one. And then after that, I just rendered the sample out, put the declicking mode on generic, put the mode on stretch, put it on the 8th mixer track, and on the 8th mixer track there is this simple EQ where I took out some of the frequencies that were just clashing or which I just didn't like. Then the sound shift the pitch stereo from waves where I pitched it down by 2, and then this simple EQ just to lower the volume of the bass. So yeah guys, if you all enjoyed this video, please make sure to leave a like and to subscribe to my channel. Make sure to leave a cool comment as well, because as I said, I'll be giving a bunch of samples to some of y'all commenters. And thank y'all for 2k, we're at almost 2.1 I think, which is just crazy to me. And if you have some video suggestions, please make sure to leave it in the comments. Please make sure to activate the post notifications as well, because as I said, I'm live streaming a lot. And don't forget to follow me on Instagram and Twitter just to see when my multi-kit drops. Thank you for this crazy support, and yeah guys, see y'all.